I'm ready.
All right, let's do this thing. We're here with Mariah Stackhouse, always with the biggest smile in the room. Start off by welcoming you to Congressional. KPMG has long been a big part of your life. This is a really important event for all of us. We'll talk about news, but first off, how are you? How are you feeling as we come into this week?
I'm incredibly excited to be here in the field. Thank you to KPMG for the sponsor invite. And I mean, it already feels grand, right? It's a major. KPMG and the PGA of America do an incredible job running the event. Everything feels first class the second you step onto the venue. As of today, I have played all 18 holes of the golf course. It's in immaculate shape. Playing really long, really tough. Greens are big and undulating, so it's going to be a wonderful test of golf this week.
It truly will be, and it's also going to be a celebration for you on multiple levels. We'll start out with the big news that was just announced today that you've joined the LPGA USGA family. As a girls golf ambassador, you are which letter E do you get to represent?
I represent engage, and honestly, I'm excited. I feel like that word's perfect for me. I'm incredibly passionate about getting young girls interested in the game of golf. So engage, getting involved in the local communities, getting girls interested in the game, provide them with opportunities to grow skill-wise and also build camaraderie and play together. That's what golf is all about. And the more engaging the sport is, the more we do to make it fun for the youth, the faster it grows. So I'm incredibly excited and look forward to my time as a girls golf ambassador.
I watched the video we posted on social, and you talked about how when you were a kid, your dad wanted to make sure you have fun on the golf course.
Yes.
How you mentioned that. How important is that to truly mean we want kids to compete and to learn or whatever, but
Yes.
to be able to get there and just have some simple fun?
Yes. I think that when you're young, especially junior golf, that is arguably the most important part of the game. I think a lot of parents, when they recognize talent in kids, we jump ahead, and that's fair to do. When you see talent in a kid, you want to push that. And when you think they have an opportunity to play college golf, to play professional golf, you want to hone that. But I think it's also equally important at that age to make sure that on top of building a solid foundational skill level for the game, you're learning how to have fun with it. Golf is an individual sport, and when you're playing competitively, burnout is a very real possibility. So as long as you're keeping that element of fun attached to the work, it's easy to show up every day and continue to want to get better.
And that's truly part of the girls golf program, right?
Yes, 100%. And, providing the girls an opportunity to connect with coaches, but also have fun with each other. Skills, competitions, clinics, summer programs, events. That's what it's all about.
Lovely. And so from that end, flipping up to the KPMG Women's PGA side, the pro side, we just had this amazing news that the purse this week has been doubled to $4.5 million to $9 million.
Yes.
What was that like for you players when you saw that email, when you heard it from KPMG, what was going to be coming?
Yes. I'd actually just finished my Pro-Am this morning. It was in player dining when Molly sent the email to us inside, and you heard a murmur kind of going around the clubhouse. Hey, did you see that email? 9 mil, and everybody's super, super excited. And it's awesome, being a KPMG ambassador, to see us joining that push for increasing and elevating women's golf. And it's been done with this championship in terms of the competition ever since KPMG has taken over. So to see the purse rise too, it's just really cementing this as one of the, I arguably think, just set up purse now. It's, I think, one of the premier, if not the premier major in women's golf. And all the players, we just love being out here, and the way we feel and the way we're treated this week is fantastic. So
it truly is. Yeah. And you talk about what KPMG has done outside the ropes and what the PGA of America is doing inside the ropes, bringing it to venues like Congressional, like Baltusrol next year. Do you love seeing these big challenging courses that have traditionally been associated with the men's game for the ladies?
100%. We've all grown up watching competitive golf, men's and women's, and so these are the courses that we've seen the men's majors played on over the course of our childhood and early professional golf careers. So for us to now have access to these courses to test our games on the venues that are known to be the most challenging in golf, it's rewarding and it's exciting. And I know that, it's fun for us to be able to showcase our talent and skill level and our ability to handle these venues as well. So it's going to be a great week.
Well, again, thanks to KPMG and the PGA of America for this partnership and for doing what they need to do.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We're going to open it up to questions. If you've got any on the Zoom, let me know in the chat. We'll start in the back with Garrett.
Hey, Mariah. Just curious, you mentioned watching men's majors. Do you remember where you were when Rory won here in 2011? Remember the situation?
I do not remember exactly where I was. That would have been the summer after my junior year. I remember that. Arguably playing a GSGA event somewhere at home or AJGA event in Atlanta. But, I mean, even playing my Pro-Am this morning, our group, we were talking about some of Roy's. I mean, the golf course, they've really, really done some changes in the finishes. But just walking around and kind of being like, you know, in this area, Rory did this, or, I mean, it was an incredible round, and that kind of skyrocketed. That was Rory's big boom into the PGA Tour. So just being here, being on this site, and everybody having watched that and being familiar with the history and the greatness that took place that weekend, it's cool to be walking those same fairways.
And back to the test of the course, what about the blind shots, the number of blind approach shots you have out there?
Yeah, there are a few, especially I think most notably hole number 15 up that hill. I played that 9 for the first time today. I'll play it again tomorrow. But walking from the tee box, I was like, all right, you know what? Every step of the way while I'm dropping down to this hill, let me get oriented with what tree is where in relation to the green so that when I get down at the bottom of the hill, I have my bearings. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of trust to play this golf course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The front row to Juan.
So one question for each of the piece of news. So first about engagement, no? Mm-hmm. Can you give us some examples of your experience with girls golf?
Yes.
And with some kids, and
yeah,
how you engage them, how they came to you, and
yes.
Yeah.
Well, when you ask for an experience with girls golf, I can actually relate. I actually went through the girls golf program playing junior golf myself. And so there's a course in the city in Atlanta called Browns Mill Golf Course. And I remember my parents taking me to some girls golf clinics and programs there growing up, and always having so much fun. They drop us off there at the beginning of the day, and we'd be doing all types of clinics, sessions, skill levels, and at that point I was already playing pretty competitively, so it was awesome to just really kind of get that experience, that camaraderie and that fun element back to the game. And those are the opportunities that are awesome. And so even after this event on Monday, the LPGA is honoring Renee Powell with our second inaugural benefit for her foundation. And the LPGA, USGA Girls Golf, is going to be involved with that program. So some of the girls will be out there on Monday. I'll have about 10 buddies out here on tour that will also be there, stationed on a hole or stationed with the group, and playing with the girls and the amateurs that are going to support that and fundraise for that event. And it's going to be incredibly special. And so those are the opportunities that I'm really excited about. We come here and we're in the DC area, and actually being able to not only play congressional here, but being able to get involved with the girls and the golf programs right here in this local area. And you really feel like you touch the community that way.
So, and then the news about the prize money, no? And
yes.
And put it in the context of inclusion, of equality, of
yes.
diversity, and all that. I mean, what is your vision? I mean, is this a sign of what the future of women's golf should be? And what is the vision of women's golf compared to men's golf in the future?
Yes. When you think about equality, I think hearing about this purse raise today to $9 million, it's doubled. Us being here competing at congressional. When we talk about equality and elevating the women's game, both of those signify us moving in the right direction with regards to seeking that inequality or seeking that equality to the men's game. Congressional is a fantastic site. It's awesome that we are here this week performing and getting to compete and show our talents on this stage. The purse increasing just I mean, that's just plain and simply elevating the women's game. It's showing and acknowledging the competition and really the star levels that are out here. We saw it at the Meyer last weekend, how that closed. The names on top of that leaderboard, how stacked it was, how deep the scores were. LPGA, women's golf, it's just getting deep. It's getting stacked. It's getting better and better by the year. And so I love to see the sponsors and the venues following right along with the progression that we see on the course as well. It's awesome.
Next to Jeff.
Mariah, as a KPMG ambassador, you have a unique opportunity to participate not only in the tournament, but in a lot of the leadership initiatives. What are some things you pull from those as far as items that can help you with personal growth?
Yes. I think one of the most special parts about this event is the KPMG Women's Leadership Summit. And it's not just for me as an ambassador. I hear a lot of other players. They take a look and see the guest names, who's going to be speaking at the summits each and every year. And there's so many people that offer inspiration to us all. And so you'll see certain players say on Wednesday at this time, I'm going to pop into the summit because I want to hear so-and-so speak. That's just incredibly awesome. I think as athletes and the experience that we have in life, I think that transfers very often just in terms of women elevating in various spaces, what that process has been for us all. And so I think they pull from the experiences that we have as an athlete, but it's also awesome for us to sit and hear about their experiences as they journey to the C-suite in business or whatever areas, whether that be sports, entertainment, anything. And I love the opportunity to hear from the brightest minds in any space. And I think it's incredibly special that KPMG brings those two elements together at this tournament, and it's an opportunity for all of us to learn and grow.
Nice. And then again, on the golf side, having played all 18 out here now, you talked about some of the blind shots, but what do you see as the biggest challenge of this as a championship test?
It's interesting. When I prep for majors, I spend a lot of time focused on ball striking, because when you're in the fairways on major championship courses and not in the rough, you're going to have a much easier time getting around the golf course. But these greens are incredibly large and undulating. So even aside from good ball striking, you're going to hit some good shots here that are going to get a funny bounce, and you're going to end up with that 50-foot putt up a slope, swinging to the left or swinging to the right. And so I've decided to double down now, and I got to spend at least an hour and a half every day just dialing in the speeds of these greens, because I think that it's going to come down to just having a good mastery of the read and the pace on these greens as well, and especially being able to lag those putts inside 2-3 feet. Yeah.
Do we have anything else for Mariah? Well, overall, this is a really exciting day to begin an exciting week.
Yes.
What do you think this week and this time means for the women's game?
Man, I mean, we're here. I mean, I feel like I've said it already in this conference, but we're here at Congressional, and it's one of the most special places in professional golf. And I think each and every one of us is incredibly excited to tee it up and go show everybody what the LPGA Tour is made of. Yeah.
Thankfully, we're made of people like you. Thanks so much, Mariah. See you soon.
Thanks, Christina. Thanks, everyone. All right.